Hi there, welcome to my royalty guide for Rimworld. I'm Icon, and this video will get you through all you need to know to get your colonists from the freeholder rank up to the count rank, or countess, whatever you prefer. We're going to cover up casting, the prerequisites of a royal throne room, and all the other things in between. I'm also going to talk about the permit system and all the other problems involved with royalty. So before we start, we have to make clear all this is only part of the game if you own the royalty DLC. Just wanted to say that. So when you played the game for a while, you will receive quests that give you a new type of reward, which is called honor. Collecting honor allows your people to get into the ranks of the Empire. That's a new faction which will be included if you have that DLC. So the Empire features not only honor, it also has rewards. When people are part of the Empire, they gain new skills and they gain also new tastes. So let's check this out. The rank hierarchy here is pretty clear. Start out as a freeholder with 1 point of honor, and you go over to the yeoman and you're turning into an acolyte and so forth. So as you see here, it's all linked to the total amount of honor on your person. The highest player achievable rank is the rank of a count or countess. There are higher ranks, but these are reserved for NPCs due to storytelling reasons. So honor is the currency that you need to rise in the ranks of the Empire. This can be earned via 2 ways. That's either performing quests for the Empire. So every quest that comes from the Imperial faction has the option for you to get yourself rewarded with honor. And the other method is you will be receiving visits once or twice per year from a royal slaveholder. Basically, that's a trader who will buy from you prisoners or gold in exchange for honor. But only really these 2 things. They don't accept anything else. So when your folks go over these ranks, they gain new, benefits, but they also gain new needs. So the freeholder rank has nothing on it. It's just your ticket to be part of the club. You don't gain anything from that. Starting with a yeoman rank, you will start to develop psychic abilities. The first thing you will notice here, the person who has that rank has a Psylink. With a Psylink, you can learn Psycasts. Basically, the level of the Psylink determines the level of the Psycast you can learn. To learn new Psycasts, you need to be either promoted, that's one way to learn a random one, or you need these Psytrainers. Every Psytrainer is a one-use item which gives you access to that skill then permanently. If you examine them, you see here the Psylink level and a lot of other stats which I will go over in a minute. There's also the Psylink Neuroform, which is an item which just does one thing. It upgrades your Psylink by 1 level. Usually you won't receive Psylink Neuroformers from the Empire. The Empire's way is promoting your Psylink level directly with the promotion ritual when you go into the next rank. Starting from the Acolyte rank, you will have, you see there was nothing here, and then there's requisites. So once you turn your people into higher ranks, they start to have requisites there. First, they want a certain type of bedroom. They want a certain type of throne room, which is an entirely new thing. I will build one with you to show you how this works. And they will also stop eating certain foods. So also the Acolyte rank does not clean anymore. This grows more and more severe until when we hit the, let's go for the Baron level. The Baron needs a minimum apparel quality of normal. He has a bedroom requirement, he has a apparel requirement, and there are many things you need to cover up here. So we're going to go over these, but it all follows the same method. The higher the rank, the higher the requirements. And once they are counts, as you see here, they won't be doing basically no work anymore at all. They will want tremendous amounts of things from you, and well, that's how this works. So let's build a throne room, and for this tutorial I will level up Bubbles into the rank of an acolyte to show you the procedure so you get an idea of how these things work. So a throne room needs to be an enclosed room, of course. I personally give you the, oops, I want to God mode this, of course. I personally want to give you that advice to build your throne room not too small. Just go for those epic proportions if you want to. And that trick that I like to use is, I'll put a wall in here now. Let's put doors too. And, well, now we need roofs. So I'm going to explain what all that means in a second. So we're going to put down the furniture, where's the throne? There's the throne. So the throne can be built out of many different materials. The materials really only improve the stats like beauty and durability and these things. So a throne room needs definitely to have a throne. There's no way beyond that, and it always needs to be floored in some way. Here we go. So let's see, must be placed indoors. Would you guys kindly finally build that roof? Oh yeah. So my constructors are lazy right now. Once that roof has been put up above that, I can explain more about this. So what I did here is a throne room which satisfies no title at all, but I did that on purpose. If you click the throne now, it now shows you what kind of title it would satisfy. So what did we do wrong? Let's check this out. To get there, to get to the acolyte rank, we will need a throne room which has the following requirements, and that's where you will look whenever you don't know how things are working out. So we need room area 24 tiles done, floored done. Oh, braziers. We don't have braziers, so let's change that. Braziers must be lit, no work facilities, no beds. Okay, gotcha. So let's place down the braziers and put some wood in that. Okay, and now, since we changed that, now we see what kind of title this room satisfies. This is a very effective way of checking out if your preparations were correct. So that's all we needed here. And for the next rank, for example, for the knight or dame rank, you see the room has to have a certain impressiveness. It also needs to have a column. It needs to have a harp. So harp. That's the first thing we need to talk about. Harps are a thing that you need to research alongside with the harpsichord and the piano. Obviously, that's the higher tiered things there. And unlike other items, the harp needs to be created at the smithy or the crafting spot. It's basically like a piece of art. Once it's done, you place it down on the floor, and then it will satisfy the needs of the room. So we're going to cheat that if we need it in this tutorial, but I don't think we will. So of course, there's then also the topic of columns, and as you see here, this will not yet do it, but I think we explained that part quite well. So just one more thing. What I wanted to talk about, why I built it like that, once we get over to higher demanding rooms, we can just remove this wall and increase the size of the throne room without hassling ourselves too much. Don't do the mistake and build a too large throne room to begin with, because the highest stages of throne rooms, they have really insane requirements. So the problem here comes, it needs fine flooring later down the road, and that means you will have to replace these floors anyways with those crazy fine floorings, which need 20 blocks per production tile. So due to that, keep your throne room as small as possible and as large as necessary. So On top of that, for the Acolyte rank, we don't need anything extra, but I want to... Oh yeah, we do need something extra. The apparel. This is a little bit hidden there, but it's here. So the there's different clothing for female and male people. So, but the main difference is men want a top hat, and women want a lady's hat. And there's a different type of clothing. You need to research those here. There's a corset for ladies and a formal vest for the gentlemen. A really important thing to note here is that the... Wait a sec. The vest and the corset go above clothing. So the layer is a middle layer, and these can be worn above your clothing. So basically, royalty clothing is not only satisfying your royals, it also has really good ways of insulating your people. Just wanted to say that. So for the sake of the tutorial, we're going to just award honor on Bubbles here with the God mode. And now, once the honor is high enough, we see we have the access to the Acolyte ceremony quest. To accept the quest, we need to assign a throne for Bubbles. Will do. So thrones need to have a owner. And now let's check this out. So we can now accept this quest for a new Silent level and a new title. So once you do that, the Empire will come over here with their bestower and a little bit of a escort. You get in there, and then you need to click the bestower and start bestowing ceremony. Here is a button there. So the new thing here is that we have a spectator selection, and we could also say that somebody is not supposed to stay there. And basically what this does, there is a chance of gaining extra honor for a really cool ceremony there. That's basically what it does. So Bubbles now gets promoted during that. Lengthy ceremony. People are watching that. And zap. So now, honorable bestowing ceremony. So here, as you see, the impressiveness of the room and the amount of participants was a thing, and Bubbles received 1 extra honor for this regard. So you can help yourself with that. So on top of that, Bubbles has now a Silent level of 2. And she learned a new spellcast here. I'm going to go into sidecasting in a minute, but I want to cover the royalty topic first, because that's just important. So, as you see here, the title also requires a certain bedroom. Her bedroom requirements are no longer satisfied. My personal recommendation, check out the requirements for the next rank. Do everything before you promote. The thing is, the promotion only requires you to have the proper throne room for that character. Every other need, clothing, bedroom, food, they leave you alone with that. So the thing is, a royal who's not getting his needs satisfied will grow unhappy. Here, want Acolyte specific apparel. That's the first thing of many. So just saying that. On top of that, a royal person gains permits. As you see here, with a permit, with a level of an Acolyte, we have 1 permit point. You can get different special skills. They work like that. The first usage is free, and then they go on a certain cooldown. And you can also keep using them if they are on cooldown, but then they will start to deplete your honor. So really, really worth a big mention are things like the Trooper Squad. Arrow Drone Strike is also really massive, which requires the Knight Ordained title, which is basically a free-to-use orbital bombardment targeter. That's just what it is, and it's really massive. You can get really high-tech squads from the Empire too, or transport shuttles, which work like transport pods, but only usable multiple times. Really, really good stuff. The permits are extremely valuable, and as you see here, you can also return your previously chosen permits. And this costs you honor, but if you want to reselect something, you can do so. I personally love also the laborer team thingies because you get extra laborers for a couple of days. This is extremely good if you have some pressing building project. The trooper squad is rather meh. The Janissary squad and the Cataphract squad are really kicking in, but the trooper squad can be really well used as a distraction too. The other things, well, I think they go without saying. I personally find a lot of them rather underwhelming. The steel drop is quite nice, but you get the idea. That's all we need to know. But what about that psycasting thing I was talking before? So a royal now has a meter for neural heat and a so-called psi-focus meter. So psi-focus acts as mana, and neural heat depicts well, the amount of spells you have cast. So let's just say, come on over, Pi. You're my guinea pig here for this regard. So if we say we cast the spell, you see it generates neural heat. If we keep casting, we generate more and more neural heat. More neural heat. More neural heat. And if you start over exceeding that, you can do that. You need to toggle that first before you are allowed to. The game does not allow you that by default. And if you do that, so she exceeded the normal extent there. And what happens then? Eventually, she will pass out. There's a certain chance of that happening whenever you overload yourself further. And then this happens. You fall into a state of psychic shock if you did that. And, well, you don't suffer any permanent injuries or that. I just wanted to do that once, so you see that this is not really anything deadly or such. The neural heat should be over-exceeded in a very dangerous situation. I don't want to explain the different psycasts here too much in detail, because they are quite cool and a different and a thing to explore for everybody on himself and find their strategies. This tutorial is not about that. I hope you guys forgive. So the last thing that we need to know here is a royal also needs a meditation spot, always, and the royal will use the meditation spot to regain psi focus. You see this white line here is a meter which you can pull left and right to set up how much psi focus the person wants to have. So as you see here, the more psi focus you store, the faster it will fall per day. So if you want to have your psycasters on full psi focus the whole day, they will need to invest a lot of time into that. So spells like here, the burden spell that I used needs only 1% of psi focus. The higher level spells or certain other spells need higher amounts, but to put it into short words, if you have only cheap spells on that character, there's really no need to overstress yourself with a high psi focus gauge there. Just put it on something like 25%. This is the maximum for the lowest amount, and there you're good. The other thing which is worth mentioning is if you are below a certain percent of psi focus, you can't use high-level skills, as stated here. For up to level 6 powers, you need to have at least 50% of your psi focus. That's one thing to note. So as a TLDR, low-level psycasters can easily just maintain themselves with a low amount of psi focus. The higher the levels go, the more necessary this is. So as you see here, we are now suffering from a psychic breakdown, which is kind of a punishment for us over-exceeding our neural heat like that. But, you know, before your colony dies because you didn't spellcast enough, I'd rather take that deal. So I also wanted to talk lastly about the neuroform, the silent neuroformers. They have really no negative consequence for anybody to use. You can use them even if you are not of the royal faction, and there's no downside to that. In prior versions, it was like that. That's why I'm actually mentioning it. but this got removed. You just right click them and then you form that Psylink. Dab. And now you can just have Psylink on people that are actually not royals at all. So just to put it into clear words, you don't need to be a royal for Psy casting. You can't do that via the animatry if your faction is tribal, or if you go for Psylink new reformers if you don't want to ally with the Empire. In the long run, the Imperial people, the higher their rank goes, will have more and more permits. Worth mentioning at the end of this video is also that as soon as you reach the Knight Ordained title, you are also allowed to trade with these towns, and they have really high-tech gear available, but it's hard to sell stuff to them. Basically, if your royals would use it, these guys would buy it too. So, and the last thing that was also worth mentioning was when the people are going, when your royals are above a certain rank, they will need their needs satisfied, otherwise they will start doing really crazy things like, let's see, do I have it here? They will shout out and go for decrees. So basically, here, decrease. So I'm gonna produce one to show you what that means. So I think I just broke the game a little bit. Let's try it one more time. So basically a decree forces you to... Here we go. So it generated a knight because I had none. Okay, so when your royals of a knight rank or above grow to unhappy, they will issue a decree. So here, Pi wants us to destroy 2 rats in the course of 5 days. If we don't do that, they will suffer a severe mood debuff because obviously nobody respects their superiority. So keep your royals happy and you avoid those decrees altogether. And, well, this all ends in the Royal Ascent quest. So as soon as your character is a count, you can win the game by hosting the Stellarch of the Empire for a couple of days, and after that they will take you on their bling bling ship and take you off their planet. That's how you can win with a royalty DLC, and that's basically what's in the package. Above that, in the royalty DLC, of course, are a lot of items and high-tech thingies that you can use. But this tutorial was mainly about the royalty faction and the things linked to being royal. Okay, I hope that was helpful. This was an updated version that's an updated video to the version 1.3 of Rimworld. I already did a video like this in the past, but this was only for version 1.1 and was quite outdated, so I felt like I needed to redo that. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. If you feel like I missed out something which is really important, feel free to add that. This is not a knowledge competition. I'm happy if we have a complete picture here at the end of the day. Have a thumbs up on that video if you found that helpful and you want to share it with other people. You can give a helping hand there. And also consider subscribing to my channel if you like that content. Turn on those notifications and you won't miss anything of my daily content. Down there in the description box, there's also a link to my Twitch channel where I do daily streams, and it'd be super awesome to see you there. And last but not least, there's also links for support via Patreon, Coffee, or whatever scratches your itch. I'd be really happy if you check them out. And if you don't, let me thank you just one more time for watching this video. This is so helpful to me in so many ways. Have a nice day, and I hope you're going to be happy with royalty from this video on. See you soon. Bye bye.